Right, well, here we are. I'm back after a 2-day break. I was busy pressing off some Pinot Noir, and that stopped me from doing my blog. I was too busy making wine to drink it. Anyway, I'm back. I'm here. I've got a couple of bottles of wine and a story to share with you. So we'll do the first one, and then we'll get into the story, and then we'll do the second one. Today, a couple of whites. It's a nice hot day. It's about 26 degrees here in Hawke's Bay, so pretty good for mid-April. Anyway, today I've got a Junction Pinot Gris. This is actually from 2015, so it's a white wine with a bit of age on it, which is always interesting. And over here I've got the Fat Trout, which is my top Chardonnay. Anyway, without further ado, we'll crack into them. So, Pastime Pinot Gris from Junction Vineyard, down in central Hawke's Bay. It's about, it'd be about 5 kilometres further down from where my vineyard is. So, basically on the corner of where Highway 2 turns back into Highway 50 turns back into Highway 2, sorry. The back road, called the Junction because it's on the junction. The vineyard is owned and sort of run by John and Joe Ashworth. John's an ex-All Black, and he's a tremendous fellow. He's a pretty dangerous man to sort of go and see, but good fun. And yeah, Joe's lovely too. And they sort of, do the Salador down there. And also, the wine is actually made by their son Leith, who's a pretty good winemaker. Anyway, without further ado, we'll get into it. So, quite a classic nose for Pinot Gris, more of a sort of, the cooler climate sort of thing. So, a little bit of that pear drop sort of character. Yeah, delicious. Ripe pears. Just a hint of sort of citrus flower, perhaps. Nice colour. Don't know whether you can see that, but yeah, it's sort of pale straw with a hint of a green tint. Anyway, I'm going in. So that's got lovely weight on the palate. Classic sort of, pear drop sort of flavours, hint of citrus. Really nice sort of rounded palate weight as well, but also, and this is important, good acidity, which carries the wine, gives it a longer finish. Anyway, that's pretty damn delicious. Anyway, maybe a quick story. The story I'm going to tell you today comes from about 2002, when I was working in London for a fairly sort of highfalutin wine merchant between Oxford Street and Berkeley Square, which is the sort of reasonably high test area of London, and the wine merchant I was working for was reasonably high test, and we had a shop with a tasting room downstairs. Anyway, on this particular occasion, it was a Friday. A friend of mine, Lucien, whose family have a vineyard down in Saint-Emilion, just outside Saint-Emilion, he was actually in London doing a wine fair, and he'd come round to see us. So he'd pitched up at about 11:30 on Friday morning, and he's a big sort of robust, rugged playing madman from Bordeaux. Anyway, he was in the shop. We'd just cracked a nice bottle of Burgundy just to sort of have a slurp on whilst he was there, and I was chatting away to him, and I could see he was at the front of the store. I was standing sort of next to the wine, of course, and I noticed pulling up outside a nice powder blue Bentley, fairly serious Bentley, which I happen to know belonged to a chap called Mickey Most, who was quite a sort of big shot record producer in London in the 60s and 70s, and was sort of still going strong, but quite a big smell in the music scene in London. Anyway, his Bentley pulled up outside, and he jumped out of the driving seat, and out of the passenger seat came a chap who we're all sort of reasonably familiar with, called Michael Caine. Anyway, they came in. Mickey came in first and wandered in, and then Michael Caine came in, and my friend Micheal didn't even notice them, and bloody nearly bowled Michael Caine over, because he was doing something silly at the front of the store and nearly knocked Michael Caine over. They're about the same height because Michael Caine's a tall chap, but he didn't even click that it was Michael Caine, and he was like, "Oh, sorry, chap," and anyway, they came up, and Mickey said, "Oh, Michael's got a question to ask you." And I was like, "Oh, well, hello, Mr. Caine." And Michael Caine fixed me with his sort of trademark stare and said, "How much of the E&E Black Pepper Shiraz have you got in your cellar right now?" So I was sort of, well, I'll go and have a look for you, Mr. Caine, anyway. I'll whip downstairs and see. So anyway, I popped downstairs and had a look at what we had, and it just so happened we had a case, so I popped back upstairs and I said, "We've got a case, Mr. Caine." He said, "I'll take it." So we got the case up, came in 6 packs. E&E Black Pepper Shiraz, quite good stuff, but quite, Aussie and robust, So anyway, he duly paid, and Mickey sort of bought a couple of bottles of reasonable claret, and then they sort of footled off. I said, "See you, Mickey," and "See you, Mr. Caine," and he was like, "I'll be back." So anyway, they footled out, scuttled past Lucien, who was still loitering around the front of the store, and once they'd gone, I said to Lucien, "Oh, crikey, you've got to be a bit careful, man. You can't bowl over people like that." And he said, "Oh, who was it?" Because he had no idea. And I said, "Oh, that was Michael Caine." And Lucien, being the sort of well-connected chap he was, said, "Oh, he was a mate of my dad's." And Lucien's father was actually Mickey Finn from T-Rex. So anyway, so he'd actually met him before, but he didn't even recognise him, obviously a long time ago. And that was the story for the day. I'm just going to finish up this Pinot Gris, and then we'll have a look at the fat trout. Yeah, if you like Pinot Gris, this is a good one. Right, the fat trout. So this is Chardonnay, grown in Central Hawke's Bay. It's 100% barrel fermented, all French oak. In this vintage, and I do vary it depending on the ripeness of the vintage and all the rest, but in this vintage, it's about 30% new oak, and it has 100% malolactic fermentation, but with a low diacetyl producing malo bug, which means not too much of the popcorn and butterscotch. I think we've talked about diacetyl before, so I won't go into it. Classic Chardonnay colour, nice straw gold colour. I'll just have a sniff. Yeah, so real sort of peach, stone fruit, nectarine, that sort of thing. But also, because of where we are, further inland, higher altitude, longer, slower ripening season. Also has a little bit of that citrus and citrus flower sort of character on the nose. It's called fat trout because it goes quite well with trout, funnily enough, although you have to go and catch a trout. But if you can't catch a trout, which I can't because I'm useless at fishing, even though I try, if you can't catch a trout, then you can go to the supermarket and catch some salmon, which is a similar sort of style of fish, oily fish. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going in. So yeah, what I've tried to do there is capture the sort of the essence of the Chardonnay grape without overdoing it on the winemaking front. So it's got a bit of richness and it's got a bit of creaminess. It has a lot of those secondary characters that you associate with Chardonnay, but sort of in the background, and the oak is pretty subtle. And the flavour is quite rich. The balance is quite good. And reasonably good acidity, because we retain good acidity due to where we are, vineyard-wise. That carries the flavour across, and gives it really good length. Now, I think that's pretty damn good, but then I would, because I made it, so I'm biased, so don't listen to me. But anyway, those are the two wines we're going to do today, and you've had your story. And I shall endeavour to do another stab tomorrow. I've pressed the Pinot off now, it's in barrel, so it's looking pretty good. It's just doing melee, so it's a little bit twitchy. And yeah, I will hopefully see you tomorrow. So that's my input for the day. I'm just going to pop this down and bid you adieu, and I shall see you tomorrow. Ciao for now.